think that like a Sudbury school is like the most difficult school you can attend. Because you have to do everything yourself. And for when my children, like the oldest was 8 when they went there, or 9, like she went to her grandparents, and my father was in Holland with the Navy, and they just went to an inspection tour with the Marines in the north of Norway, where they were opposing the Russian forces, which is really hard. They're sleeping in holes in the snow, and it's very, very hard. And then he listened to my daughter, what she said about the school, and then he said, it really is a tough school, but she don't seem to have any problem with it. So children can handle that, and children learn to get their own way, because they have to do everything themselves. If you don't do anything at the Sudbury school, nothing happens. So you learn from, I don't know how old she is, but you learn from the day you step into the school, you learn to get what you want and to figure it out. So it basically means, I think what Nina said, if you're 15 and 16, if you want to go to the gymnasium, you prepare yourself and you do it.
When I think about the transition from Sudbury education to other systems, whatever it might be, I think the most powerful thing is that once you go to Sudbury school, you sort of have to be able to be flexible and to think creatively. And I think that process just makes you better prepared for everything. It's a training for any situation. It doesn't matter what happens, but even a war could break out. But I know that because of my experience with this type of education, I know that what's important. It's the relationships you have with people and how you function as a person, how people see you and how you see people is very important. And I think that's the main thing that you learn in Sudbury schools, just who you are, and it's the most valuable information in the world. If you want to do other things, how difficult they might be, I think you just have you learn these lessons about yourself that I wouldn't trade that for anything. If I can find any information I want on the internet, but I cannot find the experience that I had in a Sudbury school anywhere. And even if I were to go to a very strict school with lessons, I think that experience, I still will have all those years of experience. They can never take that away from me. But I think it just makes me a stronger person.
Even though you don't know how, maybe you haven't had like math classes and stuff like that, and you don't know the basics of like more than just, plus and minus and all that, but the thing is, you learn to learn, so okay, I don't know this and I need to know this to get there, or I think this is really interesting and I want to learn more about it, and you just learn it. It's like if I wanted to go to university or something, or I had to take this exam or something and I didn't know something about this, I would say, okay, so what would be the easiest way, and who could I get this information from, and how can I learn this so I can...
And even in the school you could do that. You just learn how to use your resources. It doesn't really have to do. You can be two people in a university. You can be the person who sits there in class and let the teacher tell you everything, or you can be the person who just gets the paper and likes the information, and you can absorb it. Yeah, you can choose what type of strategy you use. And I think that for example, if I were to go to a university, I wouldn't want to focus on the paper. I want to know all the information that they're going to teach me. I want to really become smarter after I'm done there, and I think that's also a difference between me and many people who go to university. They just want to have the paper and get out of there, but that's fine by me as well. If I wanted to get the paper, I would go for that. Yeah, it's whatever you want, you just grab it, but you have to work for it.
Yeah. There's also an interesting, I don't know whether you've seen on YouTube, there's a number of
I've watched some of them.
There's one guy, one former student of Sudbury went to the US Marines, which is like kind of a hierarchical environment.
Kind of, yeah.
But he did it by choice, and that's why he could cope with it. That's because he wanted to do that. But I think what you learn at the Sudbury school is to make your own choices. But at the Sudbury school, you're also faced with the consequences of your choice. Nobody will protect you from the consequences of your choice. So if you make a bad choice, you got a lot of bad consequences. You have to deal with it. Nobody will shield or will protect you from it.